Hello everyone, it's GaroShadowscale, and we are checking out Unreal Engine 5, the reveal of this engine. I'm actually really excited. It's always nice to see what the future holds for gaming, and my understanding is there's going to be a lot of firepower. So without further ado, let's take a look for ourselves. Let's go. Wait.
Hello, I'm Brian Karras, Technical Director of Graphics here at Epic Games.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Joe Plateau, Art Director of the Special Project.
A few years ago, we got together as a team and brainstormed where we thought we could push forward state-of-the-art and real-time graphics. There were two key areas that stood out. The first, dynamic global illumination.
Dynamic global illumination.
Beautiful lighting instantaneously.
Lighting instant, okay.
To do a game where the world has to be static, and I'm able to iterate a lot faster.
Wait, I did not understand what that guy said. Say it again?
I don't have to be constrained to do a game where the world has to be static. And I'm able to
where the world has to be what?
I don't have to be constrained to do a game where the world has to be static. And I'm able to iterate a lot faster.
And we call this new system Lumen.
Okay, what's about lighting?
We're about to show you what it is capable of. But first, there was another area that we thought we could push forward. Truly virtualized geometry. The artist wouldn't have to be concerned over poly counts, draw calls, or memory. You could directly use film quality assets and bring them straight into the engine.
So you can directly import them in.
I just want to be able to import my ZBrush model, my photogrammetry scan,
ZBrush is
my
3D.
data, without wasting any time optimizing, creating LODs, or even lowering the quality to make it hit frame rate.
In the end, that's what it's all about. Art that just works.
So you could just get it in a lot more easily.
Technology Nanite.
Nanite.
Here is the future
Lumen and
of
Nanite.
Unreal Engine running live on a PlayStation 5.
So this is on a PS5. So they improved lighting a lot, and they made it easy for artists to import like 3D models and stuff into the games. Epic Games, Summer Games, yes. No sound effects. Oh yeah. Let me pause that. Well, this is beautiful.
Before we continue, let's stop a moment and take a look at some of the key features of this demo. Much of what you see was built with Quixel Megascan assets, but instead of using the game versions, we used the cinematic versions, which would typically only be used in film. There are around 1 million triangles each.
Triangles,
thanks to
million.
virtual texturing, they all use 8K textures as well.
8K?
Nanite can render an insane number of triangles very quickly. There are over 1 billion triangles of source geometry in each frame that Nanite crunches down losslessly to around 20 million drawn triangles.
Whoa.
What does that many triangles look like?
Wait. I didn't understand. So, okay. So there are like 1 billion triangles, and then the Nanite technology compresses it down to like 22 million like drawn ones? What? I didn't quite understand. I might need to listen to that again. Thank you. I'm glad you like the emotes. Hang on. Let me hear that again. That was confusing.
Nanite can render an insane number of triangles very quickly.
And I'm assuming triangles is like the smallest component of like graphics or something. Okay.
There are over 1 billion triangles of source geometry in
each 1 billion triangles of source geometry
frame.
in each frame.
Nanite crunches down losslessly to around 20 million drawn triangles.
Okay, so Nanite crunches them down losslessly to 20 million. So I guess that's to make it easier to run, and it says losslessly, so you don't lose any quality, but it makes it easier to run. So I guess that's why they can have so many triangles, because of that crunching down. So you can still get decent frame rate despite all the quality. No, there's not 14 triangles. There's 1 billion, crunched down to 20-something million.
What does that many triangles look like? This isn't noise. These are the triangles, each a different color.
Those are the triangles.
Most are so small that they look like noise. Nanite achieves detail down to the pixel, which means triangles are often the size of pixels.
Wow.
This amount of geometric detail requires shadows to be pixel accurate as well, and Nanite can do that too. Speaking of lighting, all of the lighting in this demo is completely dynamic, with the power of Lumen that even includes multi-bounce global illumination. No light maps, no baking here. Without GI, all of that beautiful lighting is gone. With Lumen enabled, we can move the light and the bounce changes instantly.
Yeah, that looks extremely detailed. I don't know what baking means, by the way. I have no idea what that means. He mentioned like no baking. I don't know what that is. Not gonna be able to see these graphics in games for a while. You don't think the Xbox, the next Xbox, is gonna be able to handle this?
We've made some great additions to our audio system as well. Convolution reverb allows us to measure reverberation characteristics of real spaces, like actual caves that we sampled, and reproduce them in virtual spaces.
Wait, they sampled actual
Sound
caves?
Field rendering allows us to record and play back spatialized audio.
Dude, so much work goes into this, it's crazy. And this is like an engine, like this isn't just one game, like a lot of games in the future
All of this adds up to a more immersive experience.
are gonna be based off of this engine. And this is shown on the PS5, so the PS5 will be able to handle this. Total of 27 triangles. Oh, you won't be able to afford the next Xbox, I see. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. The future of gaming is really, really exciting. I mean, it's a big industry.
This form of bats was created with our Niagara effects system.
Niagara effects?
Particles in Niagara can now talk to one another and understand their environment like never before.
Wait, what can talk to each other and understand what?
With our Niagara effects system. Particles in Niagara can now talk to one another and understand their environment like never before.
Particles talk to each other and understand their environment. What? So they have some kind of AI system, I guess, where each of the particles
We've
can...
also added a ton of new functionality to run fluid simulations like you see in the water below.
Oh yeah, that looks really good, where she's stepping in the water. Those effects. It's true, Zombie. Yeah, gaming industry is huge. A lot of money goes into it, and hey, the more money, the more quality. The super high definition blue dragon, but hey...
The demo runs on our chaos physics system. Here we are using it to accurately simulate the rigid bodies of the falling rocks and the cloth of her scarf.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice, like, the scarf. Well, I mean, yeah, it's cool. It does look really good. Yeah, this looks insanely realistic. And it seems like they based a lot of these simulations off of experimentation, like in the real world, which is very fascinating. There's a crazy amount of detail. And
now that the environment is so complex, we've needed to greatly improve our animation systems to adapt. We've added predictive foot placement and motion warping, which dynamically modifies IK and body position to look more natural. For the character to more realistically interact with the environment, we've added the ability to trigger seamless contextual animation events, like her hand on the door.
Promising.
So I mean, he was talking about like the climbing, but I mean at the same time, I mean we've seen climbing like this for a long time in like Assassin's Creed games. Is this? I haven't played Assassin's Creed in a while, so I mean anybody who's like played a lot of Assassin's Creed or maybe like Uncharted or games that have a lot of climbing like this, does this look any like better, like more improved compared to like climbing in those games?
Needed to greatly improve.
I mean, to me it looks about the same. Do you notice like a huge improvement here?
Predictive foot placement and motion warping, which dynamically modifies IK and body position.
I mean, that looks like I'm just playing Assassin's Creed, right?
For the character to more realistically interact with the environment, we've added the ability to trigger seamless contextual.
Oh, this looks better? Okay. Well, that's good then. There's an improvement. This isn't a game, it's a recording in real life. This is in the real world, yeah. Niagara visual effects are used for creating, previewing particle effects in real time. Ah, okay, I see. And Iron, regarding what you said, they did say that you could take a 3D model and import it like into this losslessly without having to compress or anything like that. It can handle it. So, I mean, if I had my 3D dragon model, like Shard made the head, it could be put in this engine, like no problem, which would be awesome. Think it looks better? Cool. Oops, chaos back. Like a hand on the door. Okay, alright, I mean...
Dynamic GI is amazing, not just for speeding up iteration, but also for its impact on gameplay.
Nice.
Any light source can move while still having beautiful bounce lighting. Dynamic illumination means specular as well, which you can see on all the metal surfaces. You can even see the Niagara-powered bugs reacting to the light. Lumen not only reacts to moving light sources, but also changes in geometry.
Yeah, that looks really good. How the light came in, like after the rocks crashed down.
Remember we mentioned high poly assets? This statue was imported directly from ZBrush and is more than 33 million triangles.
33 million triangles.
No baking of normal maps, no authored LODs.
Wow. So yeah, I mean, imagine like a dragon model.
More than a single statue.
Being imported
There
the
are
same
nearly 500 of that exact statue at the same detail level placed in this room, for a total of over 16 billion triangles from statues alone.
Jeez. And it doesn't seem like frame rates are dropping. But then again, you know, it's a very dark room.
Over this entire demo, there are hundreds of billions of triangles.
So, I mean, not that many of these statues are in view, even if there are that many statues in the room. If the entire room was lit and all those statues were in view at once, would it still be running at a smooth frame rate? I don't know. Triangles, yeah. Well, I mean, you know, it's
with Nanite, you have limitless geometry, and with Lumen, you have fully dynamic lighting and global illumination. All running on a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, this is all on the PlayStation 5 once again. So, I guess it can handle like all those statues. All right. So yeah, you can import like a ton of dragon models, and I mean it's important that they flex up because they want to show what the engine can accomplish, like the most it could do. Because a lot of games are going to be based off of this, and developers need to know like what the limits are for what they can achieve based on this new engine. This is Unreal Engine
There's
5.
not much time left.
Triangles. You know,
This
I
doesn't
actually
need to be constrained to small rooms. It can stretch all the way to the horizon.
wow.
The portal, it's open. Don't fail me now.
This is really, really beautiful. So imagine a lot of future games like being based off of this engine. That's a lot of firepower. Triangle counter. Yeah, actually, the concept of triangles, so I'm not super educated when it comes to like development and stuff like that. Are triangles like supposed to be the smallest unit of like detail in like games visually? Before this, I wasn't familiar with that concept. Because I mean, I always thought aren't pixels supposed to be like circles? Why do you work with triangles instead? Statue of all played at least 30 FPS and that been underwhelmed by today's standards. What is this engine is too demanding?
What's next?
Yes, it definitely looks that way, Iron. Like maybe there's a lot of visual quality, but it seems like you sacrifice frame rate for it. Because I heard the same thing. And frame rate is really, really important. You could definitely like notice the difference, especially when you go all the way down to 30 FPS. But I would assume maybe like this is pushing the limit of visual quality, and if you don't go that high, maybe you can instead increase the frame rate. So you could probably find a balance for that. I think so. Yeah. It probably is, because I mean he was talking about it very casually. He wasn't making a big deal about the triangles. I would assume the triangles are just some kind of set metric
Added
unit
predictive
of
foot placement and
quality.
motion warp.
But yeah, I mean, as they said in the very beginning of the video, the two main things that this engine puts on the table, I mean, they mentioned other things like, yeah, it looks more realistic how you grab the ledges and contextual things like her hand on the wall. But it seems like the two primary improvements they made to Unreal Engine 5 was the lumens, which is like the lighting and everything, the dynamic lighting and how it changes as the environment changes with geometry adjustments and whatnot. And also the nanites, which has to do with, you could literally take just any kind of ZBrush model, like a 3D model, and directly import it into this with like no baking, you know, no loss, or have to compress any polygons or anything like that. It can go in just 100% perfectly fine, which is pretty exciting. I mean, this engine is clearly aimed at developers, which it should be, because they're the ones who are going to use this engine. People like you and me aren't going to be like, oh, hey, let me like make my own game right now and put this engine for it. It's obviously for developers, so it's the lingo and the visuals are aimed to be towards that target audience, but it's still really cool for consumers like us, because it gives us an idea of what sort of things we can expect in the future in our video games, and I'm really, really excited. This will be for next-gen consoles. I'm assuming, so how would this affect for PC? I mean, you know, Unreal Engine, of course, is used for PC games as well. This isn't just for the PlayStation 5. So I guess how soon would this be involved? I guess if this is revealed, right? So it's just now coming out or something? Is it out yet? Well, it's a demo. It's revealed. Okay, I'm not sure when Unreal Engine 5 itself is actually coming out, or maybe it's already out. But when games start releasing that are using this upgraded engine in particular, then I would imagine PC games would see the benefit as well. And I would think Xbox would be able to take advantage of this as well. I don't see why not. But at any rate, at the very least, it is confirmed with PS5. I'm sure it'll work for PC as well when games come out that are updated accordingly. How you doing, Technonos? We're taking a look at the Unreal Engine 5 reveal trailer. You can play Dreams to make your own games on the PS. I am actually going to check out Dreams someday. It's in my to-do list. It's been there for like over a month now, if not even longer. I have every intention to check it out at some point. Of course, Terraria's got my full attention at the moment. Hey, let's go make a game right now. Yeah, I mean, hey, you know, at the very least, I can have you covered with a 3D model. I actually do have a full 3D model of my dragon, but it's a little bit outdated, so I'm really, really hoping Shard can make the can continue, like, based off the head he made me. He can make a full dragon, and then hey, if anybody happens to be making a game in Unreal Engine 5, yeah, if you want to put my model in there, I got you covered. And Big X Killy Muzzle, thank you for the lurk, I appreciate it. I think that's about it though. So it's mostly lighting improvements and being able to put in those models like losslessly, like 3D models. So it's the nanite compared how they took 1 billion triangles and then losslessly crunched them down to like 22 million. Because I'm assuming if you just had those uncrunched 1 billion triangles, the frame rate would probably crash. It probably wouldn't be able to handle it. So I think that's why they have to crunch it. So that's really cool. And I mean, the results look great, but you know, tech demos are always going to look really good. The question at the end of the day, and I mean, E3 trailers are going to look good when we actually have E3. You know, we don't have it this year, but at the end of the day, the question is when the game is released based off this engine, and then we have the game in our hands, we put it in the console, we start playing it. Is it going to actually look this good? That's the question. Or are there going to be downgrades? Is this just all fluff and it's not actually going to look that good when the game comes out? We'll see. But this shows potential, you know, and it builds hype. And I'm pretty excited to see what the future holds for gaming. But I would say that's about it. I don't think there's really anything else to say on the videos. Does anybody have any questions regarding this before we move on? Pog, heck yeah, yes. Outdated, I still smooch the model no matter how outdated. Thank you, Aaron. I'd smooch you too. My favorite streamer, thank you, Amy. I love you, friendo. Unreal Engine 5. Oh, Techwing, how you doing? Unreal Engine 5 is actually amazing. The PS5 actually has a surprisingly good architecture for stores, not just the PCIe Gen 4 SSD. I've been reading online that the PS5 is actually like so like strong and well designed that it can actually beat most PCs, which is really fascinating because, you know, PC master race and everything. I mean, I'll have to see it for myself to believe it. I want to see those loading screen times, frame rate, and graphics combinations. But we'll have to see. But I have heard that it's very efficiently built and it's going to be very strong. Triangles, yes, lots of triangles. How many triangles are in the butt? Depends how detailed the butt is. I think the PS5 is 1 to 2 terabytes of storage. I'd have to double check. Well, I mean, it's not just about the storage for me, you know. I mean, for PC, you could just throw in more hard drives. No biggie. That's not hard to do. I want to know about the firepower, you know, like the SSD, the graphics, everything, what it can handle, the processing. We won't have as fast SSD on PC as on PS5 a little while, unfortunately. Really? I wonder why. Is that due to some kind of exclusivity? Triangles, storage, it's all in tech. Yes. Probably cost it pretty shiny to buy. It probably will. It probably will. Okay. Well, doesn't seem there are any questions, so we're gonna wrap things up here. I enjoyed this tech demo a lot. I'm personally really excited what the future of gaming is going to hold. I really want to see how the games actually turn out once they're released that are based off this engine. Because I mean, we've all had our experience with E3 trailers. That something looks amazing that gets downgraded. Obviously, that's not what this is. This isn't a game trailer. This is an engine trailer marketed towards developers. This is for developers. But I want to see what developers can accomplish with it and what kind of games they can actually produce based off of it, and hopefully they can live up to this level of quality. We'll have to see for ourselves. We won't know until those games actually release. But either way, that is going to be it for this video. If you liked it, please leave a like and comment. It does help out a lot. I do upload a new video to this channel, my main channel, and my streams channel every single day, so make sure you subscribe to all three and hit the notification bell so you never miss out. I do also stream daily on Twitch starting at 12 p.m. Central and ending at 4 p.m. Central, so make sure you follow me there to catch when I'm live. Link is in the description. But that is it for this video. We're going to be moving on over to Halo 2 now, so I'll see you there!